Welcome everyone, it is Andrew here from AppleInsider taking a look at the new Mac specific line of Logitech peripherals, including the multi-device K380 and the MX keys for Mac, as well as the MX Master 3. We're going to start off with the most basic of the bunch, which is the K380. This is a simple, compact keyboard that is designed for Mac, which means it has command keys and all of that. They are rounded keycaps, which are not always my favorite, but they still feel very solid to type on, and you usually adjust them, and especially because it has multi-device support, so you can go between 3 different devices. So your Mac, your iPad, even your iPhone, or a desktop Mac you so choose. That's why I love this portable design, because you can take it with you or use it as at your desk. It has a full row of function keys here that are great for Mac or on the iPad, including the brightness keys, expose, and the app viewer, media controls, volume controls, as well as the check button there on the right. It is the absolute right size to just throw in your bag or for a compact desk. The only thing I'd be missing is a backlight for the keys, but fortunately there are other keyboards that fill those shoes, including the much more capable MX keys for Mac. So of course, full-size keyboard here. We have that number pad on the right, the inverted T design for the arrow keys, really everything that you need here. We also have, which Apple's keyboards do not support, the ability to jump between multiple devices again. So as you can see kind of above some of the extra functions or filling in those function rows for F13, 14, and 15, we have devices 1, 2, and 3 that you can easily jump between. So work on your desk here, then move over to your iPad, whatever you want to do. But this is a full-size keyboard that can easily jump between multiple devices. The keys feel great to type on, though they lack a little bit of the click that Apple's do, but I really prefer that they are full-size keys like squares rather than the rounded ones of the K380. I also love the little attention to details here, like the rounded keys on the corners that mimic the curves of the keyboard itself. Just small touches there that I appreciate. Of course, again, full row of function keys, brightness keys, expose, in the app chooser, we have the brightness for the keyboard itself, because it does have a backlit keyboard. If we compare it, that's really the big thing that's missing here between Apple's keyboard in the front and the Logitech MX keys in the back. It's missing the multi-device functionality and the backlight buttons, because there is no backlight on Apple's keyboard. The backlight is also very cool because it automatically illuminates as your hands approach. Now for my favorite product of all of Logitech's new releases, the MX Master 3. This is a mouse. This is an amazing mouse with over 4,000 dpi for resolution, for scanning and tracking. It'll work on any surface, including glass. And this thing is absolutely premium in every sense of the word. It feels great and comfortable in your hand. It has those machined metal wheels both on the side for horizontal scrolling or switching between desktops, or the one on the front that's actually run by magnets, and it's extremely precise. There are so many cool little touches here, and this is even working for iPad. So let's go ahead and look at all the different buttons here, how you can customize it on your Mac with the included software. There really is a lot to touch on because there's literally a bunch of buttons to press and get into, and how this thing actually works. And one of my favorites, really, if we look at it, is this Inertia Wheel. It can scroll smoothly, but you can also turn on and off the magnets to make it very precise and clicky as you go through. It's an incredible effect, and it really lends itself to Apple's natural scrolling. So here's Logitech's customization software. It walks you through the basics of that magnetic scroll wheel that you can change, the gesture button here on the side, and we're going to look at that, the thumb wheel, which you can program to do different things, whether you're switching between applications, and it just depends on the app that you're in, whether you're zooming in Word, horizontally scrolling in Final Cut or in Excel, and then changing the brush size in Photoshop. So there's a ton of different settings that you can choose, and they walk you through some of the preset apps. There's 11 or 12 apps that comes out of the box programmed for, and honestly they're great options. My favorite, of course, is Final Cut. The thumb one will allow you to scrub through the timeline, and you can undo and redo based on those little buttons at the side. If you're in Safari, you can click on the scroll wheel to open things in a new tab. Really just goes through and scans your computer, looks for applications that it supports with those custom functions, and then it's going to go ahead and install those profiles. Once you get through the basics of the setup there, it goes into a bunch of more customization that you can really get into. It's very granular. You can control everything that you want here. So you can see point and scroll. There's so many different things that you can go ahead and control. I love switching the scroll direction right away from standard to natural. It just feels really awkward going back to the kind of the inverted one that it comes to by default. And there's also Logitech Flow that allows you to move between multiple devices here. Again, amazing features in this mouse. It more than makes up for its kind of higher price tag. Because there is so much control with this mouse, it took us a little bit to get used to it, but once we did, this thing is very cool. So there's so many things that you can do. Obviously, there's just basic scrolling, turn the magnetic aspect on and off to make it scroll smoother. The forward and back buttons there on the side inside of Safari or undo and redo and different applications. We have thumb scroll, which can move you up and down or side to side in a page, but you can also program that to switch you between desktops, which is honestly my favorite, just using that to move between desktops or different applications. And then of course, you can use the center click to open things in a new tab. Now, Logitech actually, this is designed to work also with iPad. So this is a really cool thing, and we had to test it out. So here you can see we've gone ahead and paired it with our iPad Pro running iOS 14. Here's our mouse. We can move it around. It feels very smooth and fluid. There's still a bit of wonkiness at times, a little bit of like jitteriness, kind of when you scroll like over the edge of a page, it like kind of over scrolls a little bit. But for the most part, this is one of the most smooth mice that we've used on an iPad. You can use all those gestures like going to the bottom of the screen, the side of the screen that you slide over. Now that side button is the gesture button. If you hold onto that, it'll go ahead and pull up your app switcher to switch between apps that way, or just click it and it'll alternate between your recent and your last app. On the Mac, that gesture button can be used to switch between desktops. It can be used to switch between current applications. There's a whole lot of stuff that that gesture button can do. If you're really looking to up your Mac game, you want the best keyboard and mouse that you can find on the market, then Logitech is probably the way to go. These were designed exclusively for Mac. They have so many Mac-specific features aside from just adding the command key there. I love all the little touches. I love that they all work with iPad across the board. Grab yours now at the links down below in the description.
Hey everyone, did you guys like that video? Be sure to click on that like button so we can create content that we know that you guys want to see. And follow Apple Insider on all social media channels. If you want the best prices on any Apple gear, check out the Apple Insider price guide that is updated daily. And until next time, we'll see you later.